An all-night drugstore pharmacy counter promise on the receipt. The drugstore at 1:53 a.m. is a bright confession. Aisles make neat promises: relief, remedy, recovery in alphabetical order. The clerk guards a small kingdom of batteries, gossip magazines, and candy that never asked to be noble. I signed for the after-hours pickup with a pen that made me briefly honest and slid my phone face down into my left pocket, the pocket I use for things that are supposed to make it home. The receipt printed itself out like a thin excuse. I told myself I was here for toothpaste. Back home, Aaron had said, "Can we talk tomorrow?" in the voice that means please stay now. Our couch is a courtroom if you let it. We were both too good at opening statements. I left before either of us could swear to anything we'd resent in daylight. On the stairwell, my screen lit with a message from L. Leo and my contacts, L in the way I label hazards to make them smaller, back aisle. Vitamins, just talk. Roofs forgive nobody in daylight. Fluorescent lights pretend they will. By day, I fix other people's paragraphs. By night, I try not to turn my own into weapons. Aaron and I keep a code that works when we remember it. T means come here, you awake. Means I'm scared. Tomorrow means not yet, but don't go far. Leo drifted back into orbit 2 months ago wearing a jacket that improved nobility and a laugh that sounded like a glass agreeing to be set down gently. He didn't ask for anything. That was how I started bringing him everything. He was waiting where magnesium insists it is an answer, collar open, sleeves remembering a warmer room. He took one step toward me, then let the air do the next. "You came," he said, because grown men still pretend that's news. "I came to return something," I said. "My spare key, your sense." "Your name," I said. "It's been on my mouth too long for its own health." He kept his hands in his pockets like a promise he wasn't ready to break. "3 words," he said, nodding toward the receipt crimped in my fingers. "Why are you here?" "3 words is cruel," I said. "That's why they work." He watched my mouth like a problem he knew how to solve, but refused to show his work. I wrote proud at breakfast. Beneath it, smaller like a fuse I may or may not light, touch before arguing. He read the ink as if it had temperature and didn't touch me. His hand hovered a breath from my lapel, the distance a match keeps during training, and fell away like the security camera had a vote. "Does he know?" Leo asked. He didn't need to weaponize the pronoun. "He knows the apartment is quiet," I said. We walked the slow geography of late-night retail. A woman debated shampoo as if it might forgive her. A man in a hoodie bought sympathy in cardboard. At the end cap where travel-size things pretend to be manageable, Leo stepped into my weather, heat arriving before hands do when men are trying to be better than their appetite. "Tell me no," he said, and managed to sound like he wanted me to. I didn't. I met him in the inch that rewrites evenings. His mouth tasted like mint and a risk that keeps receipts. When his hand found the back of my neck, his grip remembered humane limits. My body answered like a courtroom that wants the witness anyway. He made the sound men make when a small country surrenders and calls it diplomacy. I made the one I've learned to trust when it belongs to him. We didn't rush. Linoleum prefers precise steps. His mouth found the hinge of my jaw. Mine found the line behind his ear where regret loses vocabulary. His palm slipped under my shirt and rested flat a second. "Do you swear?" Then moved with attention rather than appetite. He guided my hand down with the steadiness of someone who respects tools. I closed my fingers and he exhaled into my mouth a truth nobody paid to hear. He reached for me and I let him. We stayed quiet because retail prefers plausible deniability. Toothbrushes practiced posing. Lip balm auditioned for salvation. "We already cheated," he said when breath remembered work again. "We cheated when we started telling each other the truth before we told it at home." "I know," I said. An end-of-aisle mirror gave us back a version we were not ready to keep. He slid the receipt into my left pocket with ceremonial slowness. His thumb traced my wrist once, choosing not to stay. He stepped back the moral inch that passes inspection. "I booked a room," he said, not triumphant. "Weather report, not prophecy. Refundable. We could stand at a window and not touch for 60 seconds just to prove we remember ceremony. We could keep the do not disturb honest." "I'm tired of being clever," I said. "Clever's the coupon," he said. "Accurate is the price." We drifted past greeting cards that promised to be enough. He plucked a novelty magnet from the impulse rack, a freebie shaped like a pill bottle, ridiculous and perfect, and pressed it into my palm. "For your fridge," he said. "Cold helps letters behave." At the register, the clerk scanned my toothpaste and let my face mean nothing happened because she was a professional. Outside, the street had chosen a temperature and stuck with it. The crosswalk gave me time. I took it. The apartment offered its square of kitchen light and the fridge's patient hum. Aaron sat on the floor with his back against the door, sleeves pushed to his elbows, one ankle crossed over the other, the posture manuals use when they draw people who are about to fix things. He didn't ask where I'd been. He tilted his head toward the place beside him. I sat. "Do you want to be asked?" he said, voice steady, not performing mercy, offering it. "Please," I said, because prompts are the scaffolding of my better self. "Are you lonely?" "Some nights," I said. "Not here. Not when you ask first. Not when the kettle outruns the reasons." I took his wrist and placed his hand on my forearm the way he does when he needs to check whether I'm inventing weather. His thumb traced once and believed me. "I feel useful," he said. "I want to be wanted before I'm useful." "Tonight's procedure," I said. "Touch first, argue second, report later." The kettle clicked like a stamp in a country that still believes in mail. He stood and poured water over mint. We named it dinner because names are cheaper than regret. I pinned the receipt beneath the pill bottle magnet so Proud at Breakfast faced the room. Aaron read the graphite and his mouth did the smaller, braver thing. He took the dry erase marker from the cup by the fridge and wrote beneath the magnet, "Tomorrow, keep the torque." He didn't grin. He nodded like a man assembling a morning from honest screws. We made a rule that isn't noble. When prosecution tries to wear a bathrobe, one of us says pharmacy and the other puts the kettle on while the first puts his hands where history can find them. We agree to 5 words when 5 are enough. We stop at the shoulder, not the ditch. We try to want what we promised, and when we don't, we write 3 words on small paper and tell the room we'll fail differently tomorrow. Days do what days do when you're trying to be an amateur human with professional consistency. The slip in my pocket learns the shape of my left hand. Paper learns its carriers. On the late bus, I draft messages to no one that begin "I didn't ask" because I thought that counted as kindness and end "May your breakfast go right." I don't send them. The not sending feels like a skill borrowed from fluorescent saints with a talent for omission. A week later, afternoon tries to be a test. I walk past the drugstore and buy nothing. I leave a bottle of water on the window ledge with a note, "For whoever is waiting for a sister." The clerk glances up and gives me the nod bridges use when they've held and will hold again. On my way home, I slip a blank receipt into my pocket and write "Turn toward your name" across the clean side. I don't light anything. That night we eat toast like it has been newly invented. We fail, and fail differently, and fail in ways that don't require anyone to stand under fluorescent absolution, pretending to know which aisle will save them. The room does not demand a verdict. The morning remembers its job. And when we say tomorrow out loud, it means only what we let it mean.